Prime Minister visits China for bilateral meetings. People's Progress Party embraces new South Bougainville MP. And PNG Lewas recruit for Apia World Cup Qualifiers.
This is the National EMTV News with Lorraine Gabina.
Good evening. Thank you for joining me for Saturday's news. Prime Minister Peter O'Neill was in China this week on an official visit. On Thursday, he met with President Xi Jinping, where he encouraged Chinese companies to invest in Papua New Guinea. The Prime Minister said President Xi wants to see strengthening of PNG's industrial and manufacturing sector and to increase exports from the country into China.
The Prime Minister arrived in the Chinese capital Beijing on Wednesday and was met by the Premier of China, Li Keqiang, before both men inspected a guard of honor. During the bilateral meeting between Prime Minister O'Neill and Premier Li, Mr. O'Neill sought greater access to the Chinese market for Papua New Guinean agricultural products. The Prime Minister also said he was pleased with the outcome of the meeting that also saw a number of agreements and memorandums of understanding signed between the two governments that will enhance relations. China and PNG have now agreed to elevate their relationship through the signing of a strategic partnership of mutual cooperation and development. Mr. O'Neill said working at a strategic partner level will bring about greater people-to-people engagement between businesses from PNG and China. This means more trade and greater opportunities for the export of PNG products. Mr. O'Neill said the proposal put forward by China for a free trade agreement is being carefully considered by PNG. He said the only way that we will attract new foreign investment, stimulate export opportunities, and create jobs is by engaging in global markets and working with our trading partners. Deli Waigeno, National EMTV News.
The election of the new South Bougainville MP Timothy Masiu has been welcomed by the People's Progress Party. A PPP delegation flew to South Bougainville yesterday to welcome the new member of the party. Minister for Petroleum and Energy and PPP leader Ben Micah says the victory is homecoming and for the party to help rebuild South Bougainville.
The small town of Buin in South Bougainville came alive yesterday as people celebrated the handover of the elected leader Timothy Masiu to the PPP delegation. PPP leader and Petroleum and Energy Minister Ben Micah and party member and Minister for Mining Byron Chen arrived in Buin to embrace the victory of a PPP MP after 35 years. Originating from New Island, the PPP delegation carried out their traditional obligations. Senior ABG members, including Representative Francisca Semoso, were also present to witness the occasion. PPP leader Ben Micah says the victory is homecoming for PPP to work with the people of South Bougainville and bring developments alongside the national and ABG government goals.
We accepting you. One time good plan. No, no good one time, because that is what leadership is all about. We are here to receive problems. We are here to build on solutions that will solve the problem of the people.
Micah thanked the people of South Bougainville and declared MP Masiu as a PPP member.
Today I declare that the People's Progress Party will work with this member to bring the last to the first. This is our hope. This is our aim. And this is the reason that desperate victory and we must have high block.
While releasing MP Masiu to the PPP delegation, leaders called for PPP to prove their leadership and help rebuild South Bougainville.
You like any woman or say PPP, you work extra hard.
na kama PPP presence must be felt. And we must serve itself. South Bougainville.
Celebrations continued till the afternoon before the PPP delegation left for Port Moresby with MP Timothy Massieu. MP Massieu brings the number of PPP members to 8. Jack Lapava Jr. National EMTV News.
The Lae Metropolitan Superintendent says resources and vehicles are continuing to hamper police work despite the recent gains made in reducing public complaints against police. Speaking after a parade this morning, he said Lae Police still need 4 additional vehicles for sector patrols, which will ensure faster response times and increased police presence.
This morning was the mid-year parade. Members of the Royal Papua New Guinea Constabulary braved the drizzle as the Metropolitan Superintendent laid out a list of expectations for new members.
Time we walk to operationally, we like you got more footbeats, showing presence in the streets. With policeman, Mary, look at the thing too much, the road look car. Go down the lake, walk about, while people bring me look at me.
High on the list was how the police were expected to treat people they serve. With limited resources plaguing the police in Lae, there is strong emphasis on seeking community support and building relationships.
You must get to know your community. You serve the community blue. And by working work blue easy.
Over the last 7 months, there have been significant gains. Public complaints against police have been reduced. Wagambi says this is due primarily to better command and control at the front lines, the sectional command.
Police brutality and police shootings, all that. You find that now we don't have that as much as it used to be. That's because of good command control at section level, station level. They've been having a better grip over the policemen women, and we've been talking to them all the time.
In the last month, Lae Police served with distinction. Public support for police has risen, with the public coming out last week to strongly condemn calls for Wagambi's removal after the killing of a student at Unitec. But there are still hurdles. A submission sent to the Governor's office and the Commissioner's office are still pending. The submission contains a request for 4 land cruisers for sector patrols in Lae. Scott Wide, National EMTV News, Lae.
Microscopists from around the country participated in the World Health Organization competency assessment of malaria microscopist course that ended yesterday in Port Moresby. WHO assessor Ken Lilly says the importance of the course is to help local microscopists to better identify malaria species more accurately for immediate treatment. Mr. Lilly said local microscopists need more training and courses on malaria microscopy to meet the World Health Organization standard.
The 5-day course saw participants of 12 microscopists from the top malaria-afflicted provinces in the country. Mr. Lilly, who is from the Australian Army Malaria Institute, says the course is based on competency assessment.
Training is really the pivotal point. They need more specific training. Competency assessment is important, and I try to help them with the amount of time I have, but really they need more focused 2-week-long training courses to raise their standards. So that's the next step.
The World Health Organization has set up 4 competency levels for this particular course in identifying malaria parasites, with level 1 being the highest. Majority of the participants are level 4 and 3, while 4 participants have reached level 2, with 1 participant at level 1.
And I'm very happy to be level 1. It will help me to help the provincial hospitals and all the malaria testing sites around Papua New Guinea.
The course ended yesterday with participants receiving their certificates. WHO will be running the course every year of the next 3 years. The course was hosted by the Health Department and supported by the Australia-China Papua New Guinea Pilot Project Cooperation on Malaria Control Project. The Malaria Control Project was launched in January this year to strengthen the quality of malaria diagnosis in the PNG Health Services. Marilyn Diaukatam, National EMTV News.
And we'll have more local stories after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back. An investigative interviewing workshop was conducted to address the increase in the number of cases being stuck out at committal courts due to a lack of evidence. 26 police officers in the Gulf Provincial Command, including 4 civilians, undertook the training this week. It was conducted by trainers from the Royal Papua New Guinea Constabulary with assistance from the Australian Federal Police.
The 4 civilians include 3 officers from the National Fisheries Authority and the deputy head teacher of Kerema Secondary School. From the 26 police officers, 3 were police women. The week-long workshop is designed to enhance investigative officers' understanding on how to pick up vital information from the witnesses' statement. It also helps officers to manage investigations.
It gives us more understanding and enhance our skills and knowledge of how we can especially interview witness and how to make the witness convict the suspect.
Dr. Ibana is one of the 3 NFA officers who received a completion certificate. Ibana will be using the investigative interviewing skills he learned when speaking to witnesses of illegal fishing.
I'm very sure that I could also get a lot of conviction out of what I've learned here.
The training of commissioned police officers is lacking in many rural commands. As a result, many officers forget the importance of simple police duties like collecting records of interviews or preparing court files. Following the training, Gulf Provincial Commander Silas Wayagore says he will be expecting an increase in the number of convictions in Gulf.
I believe in training. I believe training can do a lot of things in changing our policemen in the way they go about doing police business.
Tekla Gunga, National EMTV News.
The lawyer charged for the murder of his wife had his case adjourned to the 11th of August. Felix Kange, 39, from Pangia in Southern Highlands, allegedly murdered his wife on 14th May this year. Apart from his murder charge, Kange is also charged for escaping police custody. He appeared before Senior Magistrate Cosmas Bidar at the Waigani Committal Court last week. His case was adjourned because police prosecution told the court they had no instruction from investigating officers working on the case. Albert Kakleb, chairman of the Care Center community in Bulolo district of Morbe, is calling for humanitarian aid. He said they have been living in the care center since 2010 when an ethnic clash erupted in the Bulolo town between the locals and the Sipi community. There have been 5 repatriation exercises carried out, but those who remained at the care center are hoping to be resettled soon as life becomes harder each day.
Chairman of the Care Center, Albert Kakleb, expressed his disappointment to the Bulolo MP Sam Basil when Basil visited the center yesterday to give them food rations and tents. Kakleb told Basil that life at the Care Center is not easy anymore. Food and water is a constant challenge. School children sometimes cannot attend class because they don't have water to wash or cook in the morning.
Okay, daily life lo mipla log here is all chaos. How mipla live, all man must walk about le long all pla fireplace lo paini warap lo was.
Kakleb had been working with the Bulolo district CEO Tai Gwambalek with the Morobe provincial government to resettle them, but they are still waiting. They have been told that the non-availability of land and funds has delayed the resettlement exercise.
Where Mipla need humanitarian aid long LP line blo Mipla. But since Mipla come lawyer, there's nothing such. Mipla the manager Mipla yet na Mipla start.
In response, Basil said the district will engage a surveyor to mark out the residential block for each family head. Once the land is marked out and families identified to occupy each block of land, registration of land titles will be the next step.
Because that's the only quickest way by Mipla making.
There were about 4,800 men, women and children living at the care center since the ethnic clash erupted in 2010. but this number had dropped following 5 repatriation exercises that were carried out in the last 6 years. To date, the exact number of people living at the care center is not known. Mata Luis, National EMTV News, Ley.
Trukai Sports is next. All the details after the break. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. The PNG women's cricket team, Lewas, recently announced a squad of 14 for the East Asia Pacific World Cup Qualifiers in Apia, Samoa. The Lewas are the current champions in the East Asia Pacific. They will go against some of the best teams in the Pacific and Asia. Godwin Aki reports.
The 50-over international cricket will return to East Asia Pacific when the leading women's cricketing nations coverage in Apia, Samoa for the Women's World Cup Qualifier. In addition to the 50-over qualifier, the teams will play the Cricket Without Border team in friendly T20 matches to run alongside the 50-over competition. The competition is said to be a fiercely contested field with the best teams in the region. It will be evenly balanced with Samoa, the reigning Pacific champions, Papua New Guinea, the current East Asia Pacific champions, and Japan, the current East Asia Pacific 50-over champions. This team will go head-to-head in East Asia Pacific Champions Trophy. Amongst the PNG cricketers, 3 new players selected from outside centres. They are Daniela Ila from Morobe, Hina Leubena from Alatau, and Gieti Kilapet from Oro Province. Gieti is the youngest member of the team. She is only 18 years of age, representing the Popondetta Cricket Association. The CPL Lewas will leave the country for Samoa on July 12, with the regional qualifiers to take place on July 15. Godwin Eki, National EMTV Sports.
Following the recent successful Junior Netball Championships in Port Moresby, Netball President Julian Leka Maliaki says the code is now preparing for the PNG Games in November. She said Netball PNG hopes to run capacity building programs in umpiring and leadership mentoring in Kimbe during the PNG Games.
The PNG Netball Federation is also preparing for this year's 2016 PNG Games in Kimbe. President Julian Leka Maliaki says PNG Netball is waiting for PNG Sports Foundation to give them the green light so that the federation can start to prepare and send technical officials to officiate and coordinate the netball matches at the PNG Games.
PNG Games is an interesting program, an interesting opportunity for us, where we see a lot of partnership and linkages, and Netball PNG is preparing our technical team who will officiate at these games and basically run the event in West New Britain. So we are waiting on the PNG Sports Foundation to come back to us requesting for our support. But basically much of these players that you see here will also participate under their respective provinces.
She said teams from around the country have already started preparations and are at the final stages of selecting their final teams for their respective provinces at the PNG Games. Netball is new to the host province. Thus, Netball PNG is planning to carry out programs in West New Britain alongside the PNG Games, focusing on capacity building in umpiring and leadership mentoring. Godwin Eki, National EMTV Sports.
Your weather report for tonight and tomorrow is next. Stay with us for the details.
Trukai Sports. Trukai Sports.
Your weather forecast for tonight and tomorrow in the southern region. Mostly fine in Port Moresby, fine in Daru, Kerema and Popondetta, and Alotau, expecting some showers. And that's the news, sports and weather for Saturday, the 9th of July 2016. From all of us here at EMTV, pleasant viewing. Good night.